a whole play just because they wanted to have sex with you.
And then it gets scary. It gets really scary when you realize it's not even about sex. It's not even about sex. And I found that out the hard way. I had a conversation with one of my exes where I asked, why can't men just be straight up, right? Like, you could very well find somebody who just wants to fuck you, and that's it, okay? If you are straight up, there are women that are gonna be like, sure, and welcome you with open arms and open legs, right? But then here's what he tells me. He says, well, it's not about that. For a lot of men, it's about power, right? They want to feel power in obtaining something that they see as unobtainable. And it's terrifying because I thought in my silly little mind, okay, well, I just need to find somebody that wants to be in a relationship with me, right? He doesn't want just sex, he also wants me. But then I realized very quickly there are dudes that want a girlfriend just for the sake of having a girlfriend. It's about putting a title on someone, it's about designating a role to a woman. He can say, this is my possession, this is my girl. And so sex, relationships for a lot of guys are just a means to an end. A means to an end in order to get what they really want, which is the feelings of power, domination, control, all of the bad things. And all I can say is I truly wish the best to anybody who is engaging with men.
Please don't ever leave me.
Not that. That wasn't what I was looking for, man.
Okay, if a man ever tell you he gonna wait on you or wait for you for a commitment after you told him you don't want one right now, or you're not focused on one right now, or you're not worried about one right now, that man is a complete psychopath. And not only is he a psychopath, he just premeditatedly planned out how he's going to destroy you in the future. All of these months and years of him waiting, because he convinced himself that by him waiting, he's your soulmate. And then he convinced himself that by him waiting, that's going to convince you that he should be the first one to get a chance when you're ready. It's psychotic. And all that built up anger over the years of him waiting for you that you had nothing to do with, he's going to take out on you when that time comes if you give him a chance. This is why you should not date men that's chasing you. All a man doing when he wait for you is create future warfare.
Okay, so if you haven't already seen that viral video, she turned off her comments. I can't stitch it. Yeah. This girl is saying after 4+ years of a guy chasing her, she finally says, okay, we can get to know each other. You can take me on a date. Boom. I don't know all the story. I was not there. I'm just giving this video so y'all can learn from something real quick. So the guy, after the date, gets on the phone with another shorty, puts her on speaker, and is trying to get at her in front of the girl. And the girl is recording this like, bro, you've been chasing me for 4+ years and now we go on a date and afterwards this is what you do? I'm here to tell you why he did this. These type of people do this type of stuff because they feel so wounded, so insecure, and so rejected after chasing someone they didn't even like to begin with. Because he was playing to begin with 4+ years ago. And she had the audacity to be hard to get. She had the audacity to tell me no, to think that I wasn't a good fit for her. B, do you know who I am? Who you think you are? You thought I was feeling you? That was his energy from day one, unbeknownst to her. So he allowed it to keep going. And he said, you know what? When I get her ass, I'm going to make her feel stupid. And that's the least he could do because there are people like this who will harm you physically for this type of stuff. So boom, years later, she finally says, okay. He rolled out the red carpet, whatever that was, took out to eat, whatever they did. And as soon as the date was over, walking to the car, what does he do? He makes her feel stupid. He violates her. He gets on the phone and speaker and trying to get into a relationship with another young lady. He needed that so desperately versus being a mature person, versus not trying to play with nobody years ago and not really be into her. Why are you chasing somebody you're not into? Wicked. He said, nah, I can't get over that. I'm so wounded. Misery needs company. I am going to wait this out for as long as it takes. And the second that girl give me attention, I'ma get her ass. This happens to a lot of us more often than not. And that is the point of my videos. Y'all need to have discernment. There is no point You are too precious, your energy is too damn good, and it's too dangerous to be playing with people like this. If that right there lets you know people can't get over the fact that you just wasn't feeling them then, and then it's the 5th year and things change and you want to get to know them, fine, sure. And this is how they act. Imagine what else they would do by any means necessary just for a temporary emotion of, ha, gotcha. These folks don't be rap tight, which is why you need to have discernment. Watch my videos so you can pinpoint the fuck shit.
The potential didn't blossom the way I expected. So he's still the same person. He didn't betray you. He just didn't change.
Let me tell you something that this dude told me when I was in high school, right? And since then, I've seen this quote on like Tumblr, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, everywhere over the years. So he may have gotten it from there, maybe he not, but the first time I ever heard it was from him, right? He said that if a woman really likes you, you won't have to lie to her because she'll lie to herself. And that is so true. When these relationships finally come to an end and we look back on everything that man did, everything that man said, everything that transpired from day one to the very end, you notice that from the very beginning, shit was not right. From the very beginning, you made exceptions. From the very beginning, you gave him the benefit of the doubt when he hadn't earned it. And you...
If a girl wants a guy who's older, it's a preference. If a guy wants a girl who's younger, it's creepy.
I got a question for you, Jimmy. Why do you think some women prefer older men? Real question. Usually a woman will say that she prefers an older man because she wants someone who is mature, emotionally intelligent, confident, financially secure, stable, etc. Now let me ask you, why do you think some men say that they prefer younger women? Men who prefer younger women, can't talk to women their own age, want someone who they think is more pure, naive, easier to manipulate, and usually has some weird sexual attraction to youth. The reason why there isn't a double standard is because these aren't the same thing. If a guy were to say that he prefers older women for their emotional intelligence and maturity, nobody would bat an eye. Now, I think all age preferences are stupid. You should treat people as individuals and talk to people in the same stage of life as you. The reason why one is weird and the other isn't is because they aren't the same thing. And that is true for literally every fake double standard you pointed out in this video.
If he could hit you, he could.
I want all my ladies to understand there's a lot of things you can forgive a man for. You want to be delusional, stupid, take a man back, he cheat on you, fine, that's fine. Do whatever you want. But a man raises his hand to you, even if it's something slight, even if it's like, you know, like he shoved you, he you know, like slapped you on your arm, like, you know, even if it's something slight, baby, take that as a sign that it is. Do not ever allow that, bro. That's my number one rule for me and all of my girls.
You really cannot do anything as a woman with a man without that man expecting intercourse. Now, we can say not all men, but that statement is not holding up strong. That statement not solid enough when it comes to men feeling entitled to a woman's body. It's just not. If a man take you out to dinner, what do he feel entitled to? If a man fly you out, what do he feel entitled to? If a man take you on a date, what do he feel entitled to? If a man give you money, what do he feel entitled to? If a man compliment your dress, what do he feel entitled to? If a man hold open the door for you, what do he feel entitled to? What do these men feel entitled to? Let's be honest, bro. Y'all gonna disagree with me, but I feel like everything should be public. Everything should be done public until he's your boyfriend.
After the first date, he sent her a Chanel bag delivered to her doorstep as a present.
I think the thing that drives me most insane about TikTok is the lack of fucking nuance when it comes to rich men. Do you think that you don't have to pay for that bag in another form in terms of your freedom, in terms of dealing with alcoholism, in terms of dealing with abuse, possessiveness? It's a gilded cage, babe. The wealthier the man, the bigger the problems. Doesn't matter if he's 8, 9, 10 figures. This is a world that is dangerous and it's stressful. And I have not seen anybody on TikTok talk about this.
While being a single mom and stay fit, but I still had the rest of my life determined for me because he chose not to pull out one day.
I've said it once and I'll say it again, but reproductive abuse is one of the most hidden yet most common forms of abuse to date. Most men, but specifically insecure men, realized a long time ago that if they ever felt intimidated by their wife's success, jealous of certain attention she might be getting, thought she might leave and didn't want her to, or just overall felt out of control in the relationship, that all they had to do was knock her up. They recognize that although babies are miracles, they are essentially distractions as well as energy vampires when it comes to living your life. And they have no issue weaponizing their reproductive systems as well as their incompetence when it comes to taking care of children against women. If you're in an unstable relationship with a guy and he continues to finish in you carelessly, he does not care about your dreams, goals, or future. Please understand that.
Ladies, do not date a guy who has less than you. Less money, less ambition, less intelligence, less drive, less career. I know as Black women, we're the only race, by the way, that is always motivated, and we're always being told to date down and to not date up or look for more. When you date down, these men tend to become very jealous and envious and vindictive towards you when you have more than them and when you're doing more than them. And I've personally experienced that. It doesn't matter how sweet he is. They will always turn around and be jealous of you if you have more than them, if you're doing more than them. So don't date men who are not where you're at or above.
In the very beginning, he's going to be very nice. He's going to be very charming. He's going to give you lots of sex. But I'm going to tell you what's brewing inside of him. That jealousy and that envy. He envies the fact that you are so ambitious. You're a go-getter. Everything that you have, you worked your ass off for it. Your college degrees, your home, your car, your job title, your career, the nice clothes that you wear, everything, your whole lifestyle, you worked your ass off for it. And he's not going to be able to hide his envy or resentment but for so long in that relationship until he starts bullying you and degrading you. Then he will deliberately go out and find a woman the total opposite of you to cheat on you, to break you and humble you. If he's broke, then he's fucking miserable, and he's going to make you miserable as well.
This the problem. The real woman is standing too close to the hose, so we don't know the difference.
Oh, so you get it. You do understand why women say men are trash. Because how are women supposed to tell the difference? You do understand. So you can acknowledge that some of the men in your circles are rapists and domestic abusers and misogynists that you hang out with. That's your logic, right? The key difference being that women are trying to keep themselves safe. But this philosophy is tied to modesty culture and women not having autonomy over their own bodies and how they dress. So you can understand it when you're trying to slut shame women, but you can't understand it when women say men are trash because they don't know how to differentiate between who's an assailant and who's not. Okay. I just
Please don't ever leave me.